All right, I'm going to take you through how I set up my drum set very consistently to being to where everything is exactly where I need it every time. Something I learned from years of touring and playing sessions and having to set up really fast. But I'm also the type of person who likes to have things really, really consistently in the exact same place. So I'm not sitting there fussing around for way too long, adjusting the height of this and the angle of that and how far away it is from me. And so I'm going to take you through how to do that. It starts with your rug, and you get everything on the rug as much as you can. And then you have to be doubly sure that everything is exactly where you want it. And that rug stays married to the kit. And then you mark off the feet of all the hardware on the rug and label it if you want. I do that just as a visual aid to speed things up. And then you put the memory locks on all the hardware. If you don't have memory locks, then you use some tape. I use little markers as well to help with just with other little info, little horizontal positioning. There's little tricks I want to show you there, and we'll get to that later. But it starts with the rug. And this rug, I have a tag in it at the bottom right, and it just helps me to, it's good to have, so this thing never gets lost. In case it does, I can get it back. But here's my rug, and I know the bottom right is where the tag is, so this is facing the right way. This is my throne, right at the back. And great to have a throne on the rug. So most hardware has 3 legs. It's a pretty busy rug pattern, but it's all I could get at the time years ago. And you don't want to get a carpet that's too thick. You don't want your stuff bouncing around. This is my snare. So you can see I wrote these S's. And that's just to help distinguish the markings and to speed up the setup process. So the 3 legs of the snare go right in there, as you can see. From there, hi-hat. Oh, actually, no, go to double pedal. This is my double pedal. And it just fits perfectly in there. So when I attach the tape, I have to do a pretty accurate job. This is my hi-hat here, the footboard. And hi-hat, like most hi-hats, has it's got 3 legs. And so you can see where there's these H's here correspond to the 3 legs of the hi-hat. And then we'll show you where my first tom goes. Yamaha doesn't do dedicated stands for toms. They mount off of the kick bracket. So, but I came up with my own thing, and so it says T1. That's for first tom, and just like a cymbal stand, it just fits perfectly in these spots. And I'm going to show you where my first crash goes. I call that C1. And so here's C1 right there. And another one on my left hand. And then the third leg is actually off the carpet. But usually with my cymbal stands, I have a piece of tape over the innermost footing to tell me which is the innermost one. But stand goes perfectly in these slots. And that's very important. Bass drum, right in here. Spurs go perfectly in. I don't know why. I guess it's such a small. Just thinking about why there's a tendency to use a square tape marking for spurs, but it's probably because there's a spike. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It needs to be even more accurate. I don't know. Anyhow, second tom, called T2, and it's the same as the first tom. There's the second and third markings right there. So the innermost leg will just have a piece of tape on it, so I can just quickly put it in the right position, not be spinning the stand around forever trying to get the stuff in the right position. Sometimes there's 2 ways to tell me what the correct position is for a stand. This is my ride, where you can see R's for ride, and my second crash, only 1 leg goes on the carpet, so there's only 1 marking for that. And I'll take you through the floor toms. later. First, there's my double pedal, and it goes right in the slots there. Nothing is adjusted. I don't adjust anything. None of this stuff gets adjusted when it comes out of the death case. It is just piece of cake. Comes out, and all I have to do is clamp it onto the drum, and it's good to go. So simple. Saves tons and tons of time. And that's also true with my hi-hats. All I have to adjust is the rods, if I could, and the legs. And if I could leave it set up like this, I mean, I'd pack it up like this if I could, but don't have room for that. So throne is next. Just open it up, tighten up the tripod down there, and I don't adjust anything where my right hand is there. None of that. It's already adjusted. And then just attach the seat cushion, and that sucker's ready to go, just like that. Because it's in position and because it's all been, perfectly put in place before the marks went in. And there's my crash, done, just like that. Here's my tom, done. I don't adjust anything. I just put the drum on. We'll take a closer look at the rest of the stance in a sec. But here's my second tom. It's actually a piece of tape. There's a tape down there that tells me the correct spread of the tripod, and then it goes in the slots. There's tape, see that? T2 on the innermost foot. Here's my ride down to the tape. I know it's my ride because it's double braced, but also because of the rest of the markings on it, and there's a lot of red on this. So another visual aid right there. My first crash has some blue tape on it. Also says C1 on it. Here's the R, the innermost foot. I know that's the innermost foot. Goes in there. My ride has red tape on it. It says R on it. My second crash has yellow tape on it. It says C2 for second crash. And it goes in there just like that. Done. Actually, with the cymbals, no, I do have to put the arms in. I'll get to that in a sec. Here's the snare. With this drum set, I used different depths, snares that have different depths, so I haven't locked off this. In other words, it's not a dedicated stand. It's not dedicated to one drum, but everything else is pretty unidimensional. That second tom stand you see there is for the second tom, always and only and always. And it's the same with all these cymbal stands. They are dedicated to one piece of the kit. Here's the tom arms, and I can't pack up the kit, the hardware like this, because it just takes up all this kind of crazy room. So there are memory locks on those cymbal arms, rather. I think I said tom arm there. And so you just slide it right in. That's my ride. As you can see, the red tape with an R on it. I'm gonna take a closer look at this stuff to show you how the markings work and what they are. C2, it says in there. Memory lock slides into place. Done. It's ready for the cymbal to go on. There's yellow tape on the hoop, so that tells me where the pedal is flush and flat against the ground. So all I have to do is clamp it down, and it's finished. Everything's happy down there. This is one of my crash stands. So I'd open up the legs down to that red tape, and you can use memory lock there if you like. There's a memory lock. None of my memory locks interchange. They don't lock in with the metal underneath it. So I use vertical marks there to in case I ever need to reset the positions. Same with tape. There you can see the marks there, and across the gearing. It's very, very rare that any of this would ever have to be adjusted ever. But in case it does need to get adjusted, then I know where my ideal positioning is. This is my ride. This is R with red tape there. My first crash has blue tape on it, and I mean, this all might seem like a little bit of overkill, but the point is just to reinforce that I don't have to adjust anything. See, it's all just marked off, but all I adjust is this arm. This cymbal arm just slides right in and locks right in, and all I have to adjust actually on the thing is, all I have to do is open up the legs, put them down to the tape, and slide that arm in, and then put the cymbal on. I don't adjust any of this stuff that you see here. So that's the point and the magic of memory locks. And also, I don't take them apart. If I did, then I'd have to get everything aligned horizontally, which is a bit of a nightmare. But that's the beauty of being able to pack your hardware where you don't have to take the pieces of the piping apart. Okay, there's a mark across the gearing there. You can see, here's another look at my throne. It's so easy to set up this way. Just fold up the legs and it goes into the case like this. I put the throne in a cloth bag, the cushion to protect it. Here's my hat. So fold that up and this guy's done. Don't adjust any height stuff with that. Snare, if this was dedicated, I would put a little mark right across that tilting mechanism just to memorize the position for that snare. And I'd also put memory locks and tape on the sucker. But again, I use this for different snares. So I could put some tape underneath actually to help with the spread on the rug there, but those rug markings. But yeah, I don't adjust anything on this pedal. It just comes out of the case like that and it goes on. So what a treat to not have to adjust anything. Here's my first tom. The white tape on the arm here tells me where I need to put the tom, how far I need to go when I slide this tom on. Go right up to the tape, and that black mark on the white tape tells me which part of the hex is up. Memory lock there, but I don't adjust this ever. There's some tape like we talked about with the other stands. You just slide down to there, tighten it up, and that thing is good to go. Just put the drum on just like that, and it's the same with my second tom. This is my first tom stand because it says T1. I know that because it says D1 on it. This one says T2 on it, so it just is really, really fast to set up with these kind of helpers, these aids. There's a black marker right across the gearing there, right across the two cuts in the metal that come with the Yamaha kit like that, and it's the same. I'll give you another shot of that. It's just another way to show my preference. And down there in the spur and the mid adjustment of that kick leg, I never touch that. In case it does get touched, I know where to reset it. But the blue tape, that's what that's about. And it's got a lock on it anyway. So here's my second tom. Goes on. I don't adjust the ball joints. I don't have to. The tom is perfectly in position now. And it's the same with this first tom. That's the whole point of the tape, so that I don't have to make any adjustments from here. It's done. It's tighten it up and walk away. Ready to go. What's next? 16-inch floor. This gets a little trickier because I have two floor toms, 16 and 18, but the legs are identical, so they need to be marked up. You can see there's yellow tape. You could put a memory lock on that, but there's a black mark, vertical line that corresponds with the vertical line on the actual tom bracket, and that's to correct the horizontal rotational positioning of that leg, which is very important because if that is in the wrong rotational or horizontal position, then it throws off the angle of the drum big time. Also, it says one on the foot and one on the bracket, so that's how I know that floor tom leg is the right one for that bracket. So they're dedicated. What I should have done is numbered them through my two floor toms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I actually numbered them 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Down there on the carpet it says 16, 1, 16, 2, 16, 3. So that's how I know they're in. That's how I put the drum in the right position every time, because I go to that length. And now I'm putting the 18-inch floor tom legs in, and they're the same as the 16. This one says 2 on it, so I find the leg that has a 2 written in tape on the foot of it, and then I go down to that tape. A memory lock would be great here that actually integrates with the metal, because it corrects it puts it in position, the correct position vertically and horizontally, like we're talking about, which is really important stuff. But my workaround was little black markings on the tape, and then on the actual bracket. You can't really see, but they're in there. And and then I put the drum in the right spots, of course, 18.1, 18.2, 18.3. But it could just as easily have, numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or A, B, C, D, E, F, or something. There's some cotton balls. I put those in all my toms and snares to help with tuning, overtones. There's my 16 leg up there by the kick, out of the way. So I put a lot of stuff down there to ensure that I'm not tripping over the legs. I need to get them in the right position. So yeah, this one says 18.3, and that says 3, and there's a vertical line we were talking about on the tape, just to help with the horizontal positioning. But yeah, gotta get the legs in the right position. It's so important with floor toms, because the drum has to sit on the right angle. And there's the tape down there. It says 18.2, so I know which leg is going into that spot. And that's the same. It's my 18 floor here. Get everything right, and then it's done. Those are perfectly where I need them to be. And the rack toms are so easy. I don't have a rack system, but the other system I described here and that I use is very effective and very satisfying. So you can do this with clamps off of your cymbal stands if you're going that route, or even off of your bass drum tom mounts, whatever. But the point is just to be consistent if you need to set up your kit and tear it down quite a lot. Look at that, my ride is on, just like that. No tilting adjustment necessary, no height adjustments, no distance away from me adjustments. No. It's all been figured out way in advance. My 19-inch crash is done. Just make sure it's not too tight. Yeah, finished. Just like that, right out of the bag. Take this sucker off, and then on goes the 18, and it's finished. Just try not to lose those little tensioners, and I'm fine. There's a B written under for my bottom hi-hat, but that clutch never comes off, that top hat. In case it did, then the B would just help me to save time and help me distinguish which one is the bottom hat. Snare goes on, tighten the basket, make sure it's in the right height for that depth of drum, and I'm ready to play. It's as simple as that. It's so satisfying to be able to just get this kit set up. And I mean, this is a 6-piece kit. I think it takes me about 7 or 8 minutes, so not 15 minutes. Get this height here correct and all that stuff. Very, very satisfying to make this happen. Again, especially when time is of the essence. And that's it. So I hope you got something out of this. Hope it helped. Hope you don't see it as crazy overkill or whatever. But that's it. Good luck. Enjoy.